check this out. I came to let you know that everything that you have been taught about money was actually a complete mess and not fully the truth. You see, they don't tell you that the journey of money actually starts with the small amounts. It starts with the smaller amounts. The smaller amounts allow us to be able to get to the bigger amounts and handle those. And if you're broke inside of this video, understand by the end of it, you're gonna be able to leave with tools that will not only be able to change your financial lifestyle and bank account, but to be able to change your whole point of view on exactly how money is actually made. You see, I'm gonna give you the 5 laws inside of her, but we're not gonna look into the simple things that these food gurus end up looking into. We're going in a totally different route. We're gonna look at the money system behind the money system. These are the 5 laws of money. When you look at somebody and they tell you they're actually broke, it usually doesn't mean that they don't actually have money. This usually comes into a concept that, well, they don't understand money and understand exactly how it works, and let alone understand the laws to be able to continue to have money flowing inside of their bank account. Because it's crazy how somebody can make over $5,000 a month, but by the end of the month, still be broke. And somebody that can make $500,000 a month, at the end of the month, they're still fucking broke. And you see, there's a similarity in between these two people that simply makes money actually detract away from them instead of actually attract to them. It repels. And a lot of people think that it's about a stunt of how much money you're actually making. Oh, if I was in a better position, if I made $1 million, if I actually had $1 million drop on me today, then all the stress will go away and I won't ever need for money again. But this is not the truth, because the difference between the guy that was broke that made $5,000 a month and the one that made $500,000, both of them ended up broke at the end of the month. This is simply because they didn't know about the laws I'm about to get ready to tell you guys right now. All right, make sure first of all, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you'll be able to see your boy face every single day. Now I'm about to get ready to really give you guys a money play when it comes to this first law of money. And this is money never stops. Money is always in motion. So when we're looking at money, understand that money is constantly moving. It is never staying in the same place, even when it seems like it. You may think that somebody's having money inside of their bank account saved up, and the money is not actually moving. I'm here to tell you it actually is. Money stays in motion. So if money stays in motion, what the top 5% of rich people know out in this world is their money should always be revolving. It should always be revolving. In other words, when I get money and money comes in, a portion should be tossed to something that is going to continue to revolve and come back to me. It is in rotation, because if money never stops, as long as we make sure every place that we put our money is in rotation and in motion, this is going to be the first thing that's going to be able to tremendously change your bank account. Knowing that money stays in motion and it should go in places that are increasing in value and continually revolving back to you. Second law. Now the second law is going to be pretty major. It might go past some of y'all head. This is going to be the law that value doesn't chase money. Money chases value. A lot of people, when they're going into business, we didn't even think of the concept of making money. They think that they have to be able to just constantly think about money. How much money can I actually make, right? How much money can I make off of this product without focusing on the actual product? They're just in a rush to be able to get the product done or the service done and sell it. Well, unfortunately, there's a law that disrupts this completely. And this is saying if we're chasing money, money is going to continue to run away from us. But if we're chasing value, is when we start to attract money, because money is attracted to value. The last thing you want is to be the person inside of her chasing something that runs. We don't chase anything that runs inside of her. You want to attract it. How we do that is understanding the law that money chases value. So in all situations when you're creating a product or a service, do not focus on the money. Focus on the value aspect and the money will come, I guarantee you. Now that we understand this, all these laws are going to tie. All these laws, what you're going to notice, are going to tie into each other. And you use the combination of all 5 of these by the end of this video, you're going to be walking out the bank with more than you walked in with. Third concept. Now, the third law is going to actually be very important. All right, now that we know that value chases money, how do I construct my money? How do I actually disperse it? How do I know exactly where to be able to put it? Well, this is what we call the law of the buyer mindset versus the investor mindset. The buyer mindset says when money comes in, what can I actually afford? What can I go out and buy? Now that my money has increased, or now that I'm actually getting money, what can I actually afford? This is when a down spiral starts to happen inside of your bank account and you end up broke, only being able to afford chicken nuggets from McDonald's. Because everything that comes in, once again, money stays in motion. So either you're spending the money to where it's never coming back, or you're spending the money to where it's coming back to you. This leads me to the investor mindset. The investor mindset says, well, any money that actually comes in, where can I actually invest this money so it can bring me back more money on down the line? In other words, if I had $100, because most of us don't realize that all things are going to start with the smallest amounts so we can recognize how to be able to get to the bigger amounts. Because ultimately, if I was somebody that had $5,000 coming through my account and at the end of the month, I'm broke, I should probably ask myself exactly where the $5,000 went. Because if I didn't know where that went, how could I possibly know how to be able to handle $500,000? The same thing is going to be able to happen. So the investor mindset says, even if I have $100 that I have, with this $100, my objective is to take it and make it make babies. Make this $100 bill, make $10 bills that add up to another $100. Now I'm at $200, and they continue the process. One thing you're going to notice about the investor mindset is the money is constantly revolving and coming back to them. Versus the buyer, their money is being spent and trafficked back to the top 5% of rich people. You decide on exactly where you want to be able to be. Do you want to be the person sitting right here eating McDonald's chicken nuggets? Or do you want to be the person that wakes up with a bank account that's so big that you use $100 bills to literally wipe your ass just for fun? This actually leads me on to the fourth concept. You guys maybe think that a lot of rich people out in this world, okay, they are investing their money, but is it actually their money? No, it's not. As a matter of fact, the top 5% of rich people know out in this world to not even use their own money. Even if they have money flowing in, they still decide to not use their own money. This is the law of OPM. Using other people's money. And this says that if I'm completely broke, OPM says I will lend you out money for you to create even more money for yourself. And this puts me in a big position because a lot of people think that a lot of Fortune 500 companies are using their own money to be able to develop new systems and actually grow and expand as a company. But they're not. When we look inside the fine print of a company like Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is actually in more debt than they are actually making on a monthly basis. But how does this exactly work? Well, if Coca-Cola borrowed $2 million from the bank and when it invested that $2 million to be able to create them even more money, well, the bank probably wanted on that $2 million only $100,000 a month. In other words, if Coca-Cola took the $2 million, they got the $2 million from the bank, invested that $2 million, and what the bank wanted back monthly is about $100,000. If Coca-Cola was able to take that investment and be able to create from it over $300,000 a month, they simply take $100,000, pay it back to the bank, and pay $200,000 to themselves. This is the concept of OPM. Using other people's money to be able to ultimately create money for yourself out of thin air and passive income. But now, last but not least, if they're not using their own money, where's their own money going? Which leads me to the fifth law. Make sure if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so inside. That way you'll be able to see your boy face every single day. Fifth law of money says, well, if I'm not using my own money and I'm using other people's money to be able to go on my business ventures, well, then my money should not be sitting. Once again, it should always be in motion. How we make sure the money actually stays in motion is by taking our money, putting it into an asset that is growing at value with no efforts added onto it. This can be a lot of different things that actually they invest into. This can be CD accounts. This can be a life insurance policy that grows in interest that you just place your money in and it continues to be able to grow with no efforts. Our whole objective of the fifth law is to be able to just place our money and let our money make even more money with no efforts tied to it at all. Now, this is when you get rich. This is when you get rich. And I had to say it twice because I really mean that. When you switch it up, when you go down from the broke down ghetto house to the big boy mansion, that's the richy rich house. Now, when you apply these simple concepts, when you apply these simple laws inside your life, I guarantee you your bank account will be able to change. But the question is, which is why I made in case this video right here to be able to not only show you how to be able to use money, but how we actually use the method of OPM to generate us more money so we can get the 5 laws in order.